everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over what do you do when your kid dislikes writing. Grab a cup of coffee and let's get to it. Alright everybody, so if you've been here for a little while, which everybody is still new since it's a new channel, in our very first video I spoke about why we decided to homeschool, and one of the main reasons was because public school was just rough for Noah. He was having some issues with other kids. He would come home and the homework we were told was only supposed to be 20 minutes a night, and it was an hour every single night. Now maybe 20 minutes of that was math, and he enjoyed doing that because he shines in math. But when it came to writing, I mean, the bulk of his homework was always writing, and it just led him to having a strong dislike for the subject. And so when we started homeschooling, it was so difficult. He did not want anything to do with writing. He wanted me to give him math all day and his heart would have been happy. But I knew that, you know, we couldn't just stick with math, although I would have loved that. I love math. But I knew that, you know, writing is such an important subject. It's something that you really truly do use in everyday life. So I'm going to start with, I am not an expert. Maybe this process will work for you. Maybe you won't. If you hear noise in the background, it's the baby playing with his very loud musical toy, so I can actually get this done, so give me some grace. So when we started homeschooling, I was trying to think, you know, how can I get him to at least not even enjoy it? Like my goal initially was not even to get him to enjoy it, but just to want to do it, you know, to do it without mom and just, you know, complaining. So our very first day, it had, I don't even remember, but whatever writing assignments there was, I decided, you know, hey, how would you like some help? You tell me what to write and I'll write it for you. And, you know, he kind of was like, really? And that kind of began the journey of a beautiful love of discovering how much he actually does like writing. So in the beginning, I would write it for him, and he would tell me. I wouldn't just, you know, make up the words myself. I was telling him, like, you have to show up and you have to be a part of your learning experience just as much as I am being a part of it. So I will write it for you, but you narrate it to me. And that worked really, really well. And I didn't do that for every single assignment. I probably did it for 2 out of 3 assignments that he was doing a day, just to kind of lessen his load, because I knew how much he didn't enjoy it. And then, you know, as the months progressed, it turned from me, you know, doing 2 writing assignments for him into him kind of transitioning, just going through that transition period where he started writing half and I would write half. And eventually towards the end of the year, he was writing probably 3/4 of it and I was still writing it, or I was just letting him narrate it to me. And then towards the end of the year, the most magnificent thing happened. You guys, he said that his favorite subject, which had always been math up to this point, and last year he was in 2nd grade, so that's, you know, kinder and 1st grade, and then half of 2nd grade, where, you know, math was just his favorite and he just completely despised writing. And at the end of last year, we were going over our end of year review just to see, you know, what worked in homeschool and what didn't work, and, you know, what we can strive to do better. And the baby's got a sticker. Look, do you see that? He likes to eat these. You guys, if you know how to get your babies to not eat things, tell me, please, down in the comments. But, you know, towards the end, he was like, my favorite subject is now writing. And I was blown away. I was so excited. So if you have a kid who is struggling with writing and just completely dislikes it, try writing it for them. And this is not me saying don't have standards or expectations. You know, they do have to show up for themselves and they do have to show up for their work, but guide them a little bit. You know, maybe try writing some for them, and then doing what we did, you know, slowly transition until they're at the point where they're doing it all themselves. You know, yesterday when Noah and I were doing his writing assignments, I was so in the mode of just trying to help him that I offered to write something for him, and he was like, no, I'll do it. And I was blown away at that growth. That's a 1-year time frame. But you know, it's not like I'm spending the next 5 years writing things for him. It was 1 year, and not even the entire year. Half of it was just, you know, me helping him and him narrating it. And if, you know, that process doesn't work for you, and you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna write anything for them, have them narrate to you. You know, a lot of the times we have to think about what we're going to say before we even put it on pen and paper. Maybe they just need to get those gears grinding and think, how do I want to vocalize my feelings? How do I want to, you know, say something before I even put it on paper? You know, it doesn't have to be this difficult process. Now, maybe writing just isn't their subject. That's okay. You know, try reevaluating your curriculum choices. Maybe you need something with a more gentle approach, while you need something that really pushes your child's limits when it comes to math. Our brains work in a really funny way, where if you're more prone to enjoying math and you just excel in that area, you're usually not as strong of a writer, or it takes time to build up to that. And if your brain is more prone to enjoying writing and you just really just blow people out of the water in that area, then you're usually not great at math, or you don't enjoy it as much. So keep that in mind when you're choosing curriculums for your child. You know, maybe you really, really love the Abeka for all subjects, but I know that their writing program is a little bit more intense than, say, master books. So maybe you can use the Abeka for everything else, but you choose something like master books for writing. Or, you know, maybe you pick up some of those Scholastic workbooks on Amazon. I think they're like $8 a pack, and you just use that for writing. There's so many different options and so many different ways that you can kind of just pick and grasp and try to figure out, you know, to crack your kids' code and see, you know, how can I get them to maybe not even love this subject, but to at least tolerate it enough to learn it and grow in it, and you know, maybe one day enjoy it. So I hope this video helps you if you have a kid who's really struggling to like writing. If it does, give me a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and we'll be back again. Bye.